Hello and welcome to day 44 of my 7-week challenge to post a video every day. If you watched my last one, I talked a bit about anxiety and my anxiety to actually share the videos that I've been posting with people that I know. And another reason from that is because, so my last two that I had done outside in the park were follow-ups because I felt like I wanted to explain myself better. And even after that, I didn't post them for a few days because then I still felt like I wanted to explain myself better and I would be misconstrued and all this. And I realized it's still coming from a place of the fear of being judged. And so it almost, I think, was good for me to just post it, even though I didn't share it with everyone. But I need to stop letting it completely control my life. Now, with that said, this video is still going to be me clarifying some things, but I'm aware of how much. So here's what happens. I'll say something and then I overanalyze what I say and then I get anxiety about what I've said. And this is something that I've done in the past too, that I haven't done it as much lately, but definitely people have gotten follow-up emails or messages after hanging out with me because I feel like I've said something that I regret saying and that I need to clarify saying. And because and I don't know if this is everyone with social anxiety, but for me, it's more after. So if I spend time with someone, then I kind of spend the rest of the evening over analyzing and worrying about what I said and if I said anything wrong and if I said anything to make them feel bad, or I just overanalyze and go over the conversation in my head and it replays. And it's not something I'm trying to do or wanting to do. That's just how my brain functions, I guess. So naturally, when it comes to these videos, it's the same thing really, because I'm saying something and then after is when I'm processing and thinking, what did I say wrong? What's going to get me in trouble? What's going to look bad? What's going to give someone a reason to judge me? And it's still playing in my head. So let's talk about the one, and I'm not saying this is good, but I still do feel like I want to clarify. So for the video about money, I'm pretty sure I made a comment saying that I need to stop spending money recklessly. I think the word I used was recklessly. And I wanted to clarify that because then I'm like, I'm going to be judged for spending money recklessly and I don't. And so, and even if I did, I need to like own up to it and be okay. And maybe that's why, because I don't feel that I actually really do spend that recklessly. And so I wanted to explain that because this is me trying to justify myself and justify whatever money I did explain. So if you're interested, feel free to listen. If you want to just judge me, I can't stop you. But here's my explanation of what I meant by that. And I want to explain that in general, I hate spending money. I hate spending money on clothes. I hate spending money, like, I don't enjoy spending money, and I think everything is very expensive, and so I really don't love spending money. With that said, there's definitely things that were not necessities that I could have cut or altered over the years. Now, I did go over a lot of them that I cut, whether it was reducing bills or different food items. And actually, I wanted to give an update. I did call the cable company yesterday and I was able to reduce our bill by a significant amount. So it doesn't hurt to ask. And that is another like awesome update, that I reduced our cable and internet bill. And sometimes you just need to ask. Now, with that said, it didn't always work. I actually called the company in January and asked if they could give me any better pricing, and I was told no. But this time, I think the trick is you need to actually be willing to leave and have another reason that you're leaving. Whereas I had a promo in my hand from another company, competing company, and I called and went to the cancellations department, and I just straight up said, we're considering changing. This is the offer the other company's offering. But I wanted to check if you guys had any competing offers first. So he checked my account, he figured out an offer, and it was almost the same. So that's way better, because we would rather change, or we would have rather stay with the company we were with, just for the like to avoid the hassle of going through just getting the setup of everything. But if it was going to cost us twice as much to stay with them, then we would have switched. It would have been worth the hassle. But thankfully, we were able to get the discount for a year and not have to change. So that is awesome. So anyway, that was an update on that. Spending. Most of my spending, the things that I was calling reckless, I'm really good at justifying things as needs. And my health is something that I've always been able to justify as a need, because I feel like health is the one, like, I feel like health is something that we should always invest in ourselves. Now, I realize that might sound ridiculous, knowing that I'm like, still, as much as I've spent on health over the years, I'm still overweight and I'm still not healthy. Now, with that said, it, like, you could look at different things like, oh, I have so much to say on this topic. Overall, like I said, my immune system is usually pretty strong. I usually only get sick about once a year. So I'm still not where I want to be health wise. But, and that's the thing I was thinking too, as much as I've invested in my health and I'm still not where I want to be, imagine if I hadn't over the years. Honestly, I would probably be at least 300 pounds for sure. Probably more. I don't doubt that at all, because I can tell you, I know how easy it is to gain weight. I have to fight to not gain weight. I have to really fight to lose weight, but like just fighting, my body just wants to gain weight. So most of the things that my money goes to or went to that was splurges or reckless spending was on things that were health related, whether it was supplements from my nutritionist or things through my nutritionist. My job did actually cover my appointments with my nutritionist, but I still spent hundreds on getting blood tests done, because the way our medical system is in Canada, a nutritionist can't send me to get a free blood test done. So my options are, and this is what I did the first time, she gave me kind of a list of the things she wanted tested, but then I had to go to a waiting room clinic, to a walk-in clinic, wait for over an hour to see a doctor and request that doctor send me to a blood lab to get these things tested. Now, that doctor doesn't have to request the same things a nutritionist wants, so I still didn't get all the things tested. And then not only that, even once they did the testing, I couldn't just go pick up my results. I had to go back into the normal line for the walk-in clinic and wait for an hour again just to get my results. And that was very frustrating, because it's a lot of lost time. It was time I had to take off work. So after that, I did end up just paying the money, because there is a lab that will take blood and then send it off to be tested, but that's out of pocket. And I think, so that was around, I think, $200 the time I did that done. I think I had it done twice. Plus I also paid for an allergy panel, which was not covered. So there's things like that in my health, that was dealing with my health, that were not covered. Like I said, supplements, a lot of organic foods, things like that. Things with fitness, whether it was gym memberships or shoes, even things for doing the marathons. There's always expenses. I gotta say, I keep buying a different hydration belt, because I find that the ones that I had before, it's not working as well, and that's a whole nother thing that I might switch up in the future, because I feel like I have to put them so tight and then I can't breathe properly, and I feel like that's actually something that's messing with me too. Anyway, shoes, hydration belts, just workout clothes. That's right now, my workout clothes are so worn out that's another thing. I don't even feel like any of it would be okay for me to go to a gym right now. So there's just health in itself is a lot of cost. Now, with that said, it's not all going to that. But there are other things. Last year, car repairs, there was all these things wrong with the car. That was $1,000 bill on that. That's not necessarily reckless, but there's things that added up. But I will admit, though, I would say my biggest guilty pleasure when it comes to shopping is movies. Now, what I mean by that is for for a few years, we were paying $20 a month for the movie channel. Now, I shouldn't say the first few years because we did have a few times where we had the movie channels for free for 6 months. And I think we had that at least two different times. So we weren't paying for the whole time, but that was still $20 a month for the months that we were paying. That added up a lot. And that's kind of like the thing I want to buy the most is DVDs. Now, I will say though, if I do buy them, I usually wait until Boxing Day until they're around $5. So it's not, that's why I want to say, like, even when I'm like splurging, it's like splurging on a budget. So I'm not that reckless of a spender, but there's things like the blood tests. Maybe that's things that I should have but I didn't want to take the time off work. And then with my work, it got complicated where you could only, if you had to make, if you're away so long for appointments, then you had to use it as a half sick day. And it just got so complicated that I was just like, oh, like I can't deal with taking the time off. So then I just use the money, and I should have, so that really was being reckless. I should have managed the time, but then, yeah, I don't know. It's, you win and lose, right? And that was what I decided. So that was what ended up happening. But those are the main things that I'm reckless. And again, is like going out for dinner. Though that's main thing is socializing and not acknowledging that like this isn't something I really can fit in my budget, and never want, it was always I want to say keeping up with the Kardashians, but what was the keeping up with the, oh my God, is it the Coopers? Oh, that's terrible. Keeping up with the, anyway, it's you not wanting to miss out on life because of money. It's that desire. And also classes. I spent a lot of money on, well, also health is online, oh my gosh, not a seminar. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of the word? Summit. Online summits about health. I did spend money on a couple of those. I spent money on a couple online trainings about writing and sharing your story and speaking. I did Toastmasters for 2 years. That cost money. I've done 3 PTE, like acting class / speaking classes / improv. That costs money. Those are all my splurges. But again, aside from the movies, I justified everything to myself as an investment in myself. If it was health, I related. If it was food, fitness, medical, I justified that as being an investment in my health. And if it was the courses, I justified that as being an investment in my career. And I still look at it as like student debt, kind of like, because that's my schooling, my education. And so that's how I justified it. But it adds up, and then there's, like I said too before, is the people pleasing of not wanting to say no. So just going into everything, no matter how much it costs. And donations too. That was the thing. I want to give to a lot of charities, but I can only give to so many. So finding the balance with that too. Like there was a year that I gave like way more than I should have. And that caused a lot of actually financial problems for me. And that was years ago. And I had to reduce the amount that I donate, but I still am probably need to find the proper balance in that. So this is me justifying. And I know it's ridiculous and I shouldn't have to justify myself. But I also didn't want to give a false thing because I actually do hate shopping. I try to stock up on foods when they are on sale. But that's where I'm at. This video is probably going to shut down soon because I've just recorded 3. So that's what I wanted to say. Feel free to judge me anyway, and I'm sure there's things that I forgot, but those are the big things that I spent money on that I justified as being necessary, but then I'm seeing now that I'm having to cut them all out and don't really want to, I'm seeing how I could adjust things a little better and how I have to now because I've put myself in the situation where I need to focus on the absolute essentials in life. So that's my follow up, part 2 of the money situation. And that is my confession of the things that I was spending money on and that I would like to have a budget for spending money on in the future. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. Bye.